Why is Tracee Ellis Ross still single at 53, even with all the fame, family, and Ivy League advantages? Is it society's pressure, her own choices, or something else? Stick around because the truth behind her dating life is way more complicated than you think. Tracee Ellis Ross continues to navigate the spotlight with candid reflections on her love life, a theme that surprisingly remains front and center even after her well-received interview with Michelle Obama. Most recently, during her conversation on Emma Greed's Aspire podcast titled Become the CEO of Your Life, Ross once again touched on her romantic experiences, or more precisely, the lack of a lasting relationship. In this episode, Tracee reveals a familiar sentiment she's shared before. While she's not opposed to having a partner, she simply hasn't met the person who fits as her life companion. She acknowledges past meaningful romances and expresses a genuine openness to love, yet underscores that the perfect match has eluded her so far. This ongoing narrative is particularly noteworthy considering Ross's background. At 53 years old, the actress and daughter of the legendary Diana Ross carries a legacy that might add layers to her personal journey. A Brown University alumnus, she combines intellect and resilience, qualities that likely shape her thoughtful approach to relationships. Her story invites a deeper conversation about the complex nature of seeking connection amid personal growth and public scrutiny, reminding us that finding the right partnership often doesn't adhere to a simple timeline. The speaker draws a strong contrast between their own background and Tracee Ellis Ross's upbringing to highlight different life trajectories. They note that Brown University, where Ross studied, is an elite Ivy League institution in Providence, Rhode Island. Admission there generally requires a combination of wealth, connections, and intelligence, privileges not easily accessible to everyone. By comparison, the speaker attended Sacramento State University, coming from a humble neighborhood in Del Paso Heights, and had to work hard to broaden their worldview and personal ambitions outside their immediate environment. Tracee Ellis Ross, raised by iconic singer Diana Ross and with a Jewish father, was exposed to a rich cultural and social diversity, Black, white, Asian communities, giving her a unique, multifaceted perspective. Despite these advantages, the speaker points out Ross's ongoing struggle to find the right partner across racial lines, suggesting this challenge transcends any single demographic. Ross's reflections on life evolve beyond dating struggles. She shifts focus to a message about intentional living, making thoughtful choices, pursuing joy independently, and not waiting for external validation or relationships to define her happiness. This perspective inspired her solo travel show, emphasizing personal fulfillment over conventional relationship timelines. Yet, the speaker offers a nuanced critique, noting that while Ross's advice to prioritize self-fulfillment is valid, many successful people benefit from family support and partnership, which often correlates with financial stability. They emphasize that Ross's path is shaped by considerable privilege, wealth, education, and celebrity connections, not a reality most can easily replicate. Furthermore, Ross's remark about societal pressure to marry versus her wish she had focused more on dreaming about life itself reveals a tension. She admits to dreaming about marriage, but seemingly wasn't prepared to make the sacrifices needed to realize that ideal relationship. The speaker highlights this as an important distinction. Desiring marriage is different from prioritizing it or making compromises for it. In essence, the critique suggests that Ross has always centered her life around her own growth and goals rather than placing someone else first, reflecting a journey marked by personal choice and the realities of privilege intertwined with the complexities of love and societal expectations. The speaker, deeply immersed in content creation, highlights the hard work behind building an audience. Their commitment means sacrificing leisure activities, like frequent travel or casual dating, that others might enjoy. This contrasts with Tracee Ellis Ross's reflection on societal expectations and her personal choices. The speaker challenges Ross's notion that resisting societal pressure cost her material success, arguing instead that achieving more comes from talent and effort, not merely sidestepping social norms. They point out that Ross isn't considered a top-tier actress commanding major roles outside familiar territory, which impacts her career opportunities. Addressing Ross's claim about societal pressure to marry, The speaker suggests Ross never truly felt that pressure, pointing out that wanting a specific type of partner requires dedication and sacrifice, which Ross seemingly avoided. The conversation shifts to Ross's dating preferences. She often dates younger men, partly to avoid the toxic masculinity she associates with men her own age. Ross emphasizes her independence and self-awareness, rejecting relationships where she felt controlled or possessed. However, the speaker interprets Ross's preference for younger men differently. They suggest what Ross really seeks is control in a relationship. By avoiding men her age who might try to control her, the speaker argues that Ross is actually interested in partners she can influence more easily. This perspective challenges Ross's narrative and encourages her to own this motive honestly. Towards the end, Ross shares a piece of dating advice that involves dividing a page into two sides, one for facts and the other for fantasy, about a potential partner. The speaker reacts sharply to this, noting its irony. This fact/fantasy approach to relationships mirrors the way men have often compartmentalized their feelings and expectations with Ross throughout her life. Overall, the speaker's take is that genuine relationship success involves hard work, sacrifice, and honesty, both with oneself and with partners, rather than avoiding societal expectations or seeking control disguised as independence. The speaker wraps up their critique by flipping the script on Tracee Ellis Ross's dating advice, arguing that men have long applied a similar facts versus fantasy lens to women like her, separating emotions from practical value. When the reality doesn't measure up, they move on, leaving Ross to frame it as men seeking control, which prompts her pivot to younger partners as a workaround. The speaker's analysis cuts to the core of what they see as Tracee Ellis Ross's relational blueprint, a steadfast refusal to bend her own standards or lifestyle to accommodate a true equal in partnership. Rather than engaging in the mutual compromises that often define lasting relationships, Ross, in this view, prioritizes a suitor who can effortlessly integrate into her pre-existing world, one where her achievements, independence, and self-assuredness reign supreme. This ideal candidate? A younger man, typically less financially established and professionally advanced, whose relative inexperience ensures the power tilts decisively in her favor, free from the friction of competing ambitions or authority. Delve deeper into this dynamic and the speaker's point sharpens. Such a partner inherently lacks leverage. Leverage here isn't just about bank accounts or career accolades. It's the subtle currency of influence that comes from parity, shared successes, comparable life stages, or even the quiet confidence of someone who's navigated their own storms. A younger counterpart, fresh on the professional scene or still climbing the ladder, arrives with fewer bargaining chips. They admire from afar, perhaps dazzled by Ross's star power, her Brown University pedigree, her Diana Ross lineage, and her poised embodiment of Black excellence in Hollywood. But admiration, the speaker implies, breeds deference rather than dialogue. The relationship becomes a stage where Ross directs the scenes, unchallenged by a co-star who might demand equal billing or rewrite the script. Consider the implications of this setup. Relationships thrive or falter on balance. When one side holds disproportionate sway, predictability sets in, as the speaker notes. Dates might sparkle with novelty at first, the thrill of youth's energy revitalizing Ross's robust life, the hot and gorgeous allure she candidly admits to enjoying. Yet, without the push-pull of equals, intimacy risks flattening into routine. The younger man, sensing his position, treads lightly, avoiding confrontations, deferring decisions, perhaps even curating his persona to fit her vibe. It's comfortable, yes, but one-sided, echoing the very control dynamics Ross claims to flee from older suitors. The irony? By dodging men her age steeped in toxic masculinity, she's not escaping control. She's redefining it on her terms, selecting partners whose life experience hasn't yet forged the tools to contest her narrative. The speaker's call for brutal honesty underscores a broader frustration. Stop the masquerade. If the true pursuit is dominance, framed elegantly as empowerment, independence, or self-actualization, then declare it plainly. I want somebody that doesn't have leverage, the speaker mimics, stripping away the veneer. Own the preference for a dynamic where your fullness as a very embodied, woman overshadows a partner's emerging wholeness. This isn't villainy. It's human preference, as valid as seeking a soulmate or a playmate. But cloaking it in critiques of societal wedding dreams, patriarchal pressures, or generational gender hang-ups muddies the waters, turning personal choice into a manifesto. The speaker sees this as intellectual dishonesty, a celebrity luxury where Ross, buoyed by privilege, can philosophize without the gritty accountability most face. Expand this lens to Ross's full podcast monologue, and patterns emerge. She pivots from dating woes to choicefully living life, curating joy sans a partner, solo travel shows, unapologetic self-prioritization. Admirable on surface, but the speaker counters. This isn't universal wisdom, it's elite insulation. Born into Diana Ross's orbit, Ivy League educated, Hollywood adjacent, Ross's solo path was paved with safety nets most lack. The average aspirant can't bankroll Brown tuition or leverage nepotism for auditions. Her advice to walk towards joy independently glosses over how family wealth and fame afford such freedom. Sacrifice? The speaker, grinding daily as a YouTuber from Del Paso Heights roots, embodies it, foregoing Dubai trips or casual flings for content that builds views. Ross, they argue, sidesteps that grind, then retrofits regrets, dreaming of weddings over life, into empowerment tales. Power imbalances aren't new in celebrity romance, they're amplified. Younger men with older powerhouses like Ross echo dynamics in Hollywood lore, Mickey Rourke with younger flames, or more pointedly, stars like her seeking vitality without vulnerability. But the speaker flips the script. Men have long wielded this facts versus fantasy dichotomy Ross now preaches. They compartmentalize feelings on one page, value, loyalty, looks, legacy-building potential on the other. When fantasy crashes into fact, say, a partner demanding equal reins, departure follows. Ross's iteration? A savvy reversal, now advising women to audit suitors similarly. Yet her history suggests selective application, rejecting age peers for control vibes, chasing youth for malleability. Critics might defend Ross. At 53, post-divorce whispers and high-profile flings, she's earned her selectivity. Toxic masculinity is real. Gender fluidity openness in younger gens refreshing. Her CEO of your life ethos empowers amid single-dom stats, rising solo households, delayed marriages. But the speaker dismisses deflections, including her gender fluidity nod as a red herring. Homosexuality? Irrelevant smokescreen. The crux? Unwillingness to adjust. True partnership demands molding, tempering ego, aligning timelines, sacrificing solo joys for shared futures. Ross dreams of weddings, societal imprint admitted, but balks at the labor. Gym routines for appeal, career pauses for family, vulnerability to equals. Envision alternatives the speaker implies Ross evades. A peer partner, successful black man, white exec, orange or purple, brings leverage. Debates over finances, visions for kids, even cultural clashes from her multicultural upbringing. Friction forges depth, but also risk. Control seeds unpredictability. Leverage invites negotiation. Opting out for low-leverage youth? Safe harbor, but stagnant pond. Yoshi Jackson, the celebrity drunk, lands his punch. Authenticity trumps apology tours. Say the quiet part, crave the controllable consort, and retire the victim narrative. This extends culturally. Ross's saga mirrors debates on high-value women, educated, affluent, aging out of options yet unwilling to downshift. Stats bear echoes. Pew data shows college grads delaying marriage, prioritizing careers, yet fulfillment surveys link partnerships to longevity, wealth. Privilege amplifies. Ross's Jewish father Diana Ross fusion exposed her to worlds beyond very black, very Baptist roots the speaker claims. Still single? Not victimhood, but choice unchallenged by necessity. Ultimately, the speaker's thesis indicts selective storytelling. Ross's Aspire appearance, post-Michelle Obama, prolongs her chronically single tour, repackaging stasis as strategy. Leverage-lacking partners preserve her CEO throne, but at what cost? Depth deferred, sacrifices skipped. Honesty heals. Admit the power play, and perhaps peers appear, drawn to unvarnished truth. Until then, the cycle spins. Younger flames flicker. Fantasies persist. Facts endure. Yoshi signs off, mic drop in hand, challenging us. What's your take? Seals his commentary with a high-octane flourish, announcing, "Your boy Yoshi Jackson back at it again. The celebrity drunk for you."
Bell.
We're out. Far from a casual exit, this branded send-off solidifies his status as a YouTube firebrand, delivering celebrity dissections with the uninhibited edge of someone spilling hot takes mid-buzz. His celebrity drunk alias is pure marketing alchemy, turning perceived messiness into magnetic authenticity. From the hardscrabble blocks of Del Paso Heights in Sacramento, shaped by a deeply Black and Baptist ethos, Jackson hustled through Sacramento State University without the silver spoon advantages Tracee Ellis Ross enjoyed. No legendary mom like Diana Ross or Ivy League gateway such as Brown to grease the wheels, just raw daily content creation, trading beach escapes and fleeting romances for subscriber growth. This grind informs his persona, a virtual barfly who unmasks Hollywood's gloss, resonating with viewers tired of sanitized celeb speak. The clincher, "Guys, what do you think?" flings the gauntlet straight to his audience, transforming passive watchers into active jurors on Ross's romantic odyssey. Fans swarm the comments, picking apart her revelations from Emma Greed's Aspire podcast episode, "Become the CEO of Your Life." There, the 53-year-old divulges her pull toward younger men as an antidote to age peers' toxic masculinity, unveils her facts versus fantasy dating ledger, and touts self-curated joy through solo adventures. Jackson reframes it all as a veiled power grab, sidestepping balanced partnerships for impressionable types who pose no threat to her dominion, extending her post-Michelle Obama apology tour into fresh controversy. This moment ripples outward, fueling cultural conversations on singledom's trade-offs. Ross's elite trajectory, multicultural upbringing blending Jewish paternal roots with Motown royalty, elite education in Providence, shields her from stats underscoring marriage's boosts in wealth and stability. Jackson's street-level lens probes deeper. Is her unyielding self-focus true liberation or a privilege-permitted stall? Dreaming of nuptials, yet dodging the compromises they demand, she preaches autonomy from a pedestal few can climb. What hooks followers is Jackson's alchemy of wit and wisdom, snarky zingers like "sit your stupid ass down," laced with demands for candor, such as admitting a taste for low-stakes lovers over elaborate excuses. As the anti-establishment sage, he converts Ross's musings into a spectator sport, where the crowd debates if her embodied completeness craves peers or pliable fans. This interactive spark keeps his channel ablaze, a perpetual motion machine of provocation in YouTube's commentary coliseum.